According to Upanishad or Vedanta, the Upanishad inquires about Brahman, the cosmic force to sustain the universe. The answer they gave is, the self is Brahman. Brahman is Atman. And the Atman, which means spirit, is within you. The self provides you with true self. The true self is not the real self, it is empirical self. So the higher realization of purity is the self called Brahman. It is only through the help of the path of true knowledge, means Jnana Marga, one realizes true self, that is Brahman. Therefore, according to Upanishad, man is nothing but a Brahman. According to Buddhism, for Buddha, human life is a long trial of miseries. Sarva Dukkham, the constant flow of desires and thoughts, causes misery. In fact, nothing is permanent. Sarvam Anityam. So man is a succession of ever-changing psychophysical states. Writing, thinking, running, eating, etc. Take the example of the image of a necklace made of pearls but without strings to join them. But for man, self and soul as a permanent substance to support and join them. Nirvana is the end of miseries, but a state above the worldly passions. According to Plato, the real man is an individual soul that subsists eternally in a world of spiritual ideas. For some unknown reason, these souls got entangled in the shadowy world of matter. They are imprisoned in material bodies from which they long to be liberated, to rejoin the world of ideas. According to Aristotle, the real man is a rational animal. His rationality, spirituality, and animality from a being. For Aristotle, man is made of one reality, that is matter and soul. Body and soul, matter and form. According to Descartes, man is both extension and thought. He is made of two substances. The material substance is the body, and the spiritual substance is the soul. According to personalism claims that man is an individual with all these characteristics like the openness. He relates with others, communicates, and establishes interrelationship. Second, the situation of the person. The man is situated with the world, family, education, culture, and social institutions. Third, the dynamism. It is to be active mode of being, listening to the world around, lovely and understanding. According to existentialism, number 1, Kierkegaard, he says that the characteristics essence of man is his subjectivity, which he understands as unique, individual, unable to directly communicate with others. According to Nietzsche, man is an irrational individual with no one, no laws, and no conscience to guide him, no value to pursue. Thus he is the creator of his own value. According to Sartre, man is nothing, not a thing, not definable, for he is divine himself as he wants. According to Marxism upholds a materialistic concept of man. The man today is an exploited being. He should be liberated from the unbearable socio-economic oppression caused by class struggle. Man is a worker and also a co-worker. He needs help for self-fulfillment. According to positivism, the positivism considers sociology as the important science in understanding the concept of man. Thus, the study determines man as a social object. According to structuralism, man is the outcome of various structures, a network of external influences that entirely determines him. The structures are physical element, the psychological, historical, sociological, and linguistic structures. According to psychologists, Sigmund Freud view was that conscious motivations explain well enough human behavior. Man is a free being with consciousness. 3 forces play in human behavior. First, ID, the blind generator of energy, sexual desire. Second, ego, which is conscious person grown to adulthood. And third, superego. It emerges under the pursuit of family, pressure of family, society, education. It is expressed in terms of values. Theory of relativity and quantum theory. Theory of relativity. The theories of relativity speak about the motion and rest. The scientists are finding difficulty in the measurement of a body which is at rest and the body which is in motion. Thought and mechanical experiment could not show the difference between a body which is really at rest and a body which is really in motion. The optical experiment could tell us the difference. Since light had to be a medium for the progression of the waves, therefore the scientist postulated the existence of ether. They claim that ether necessarily had to be existed in order that the progression of light is possible. Ether must be subtle, all pervasive in space, and absolutely at rest. Ether is only a fragment of their imagination. It is having no empirical basis. Quantum theory of physics. Many scientists adopted the opinion that all natural phenomena can be fully explained by the law of physics. Scientists related that the building block of all material reality to subatomic particles such as proton, electron, and neutron. These particles had the final word in explaining why matter behaves as it is. In comparison of both the relativity and quantum theories, we see that the sources for the existence of the material reality are limited. Theory of relativity claims that ether has no empirical basis, and quantum theory of physics is atom. Both the theories have limited sources, and scientists cannot end their research and are not satisfied. This leads them to conclude to the unlimited sources, that is, God. Rationalism gave importance to reason. The method followed by the rationalists was deductive method, from general to particular. Important rationalist philosophers were Descartes, Spinoza, Leibniz, etc. Empiricism gave importance to sense, knowledge, and method used by empiricists was inductive method. The important empiricist philosophers are Locke, John, Berkeley, and Hume. Transcendentalism stressed the need for both the sense knowledge. The important figure in transcendentalism is Immanuel Kant. Let us start with rationalism. Theory of knowledge by René Descartes. Descartes, after often asked the question, "What do I know?" because he doubted everything while examining the history of philosophers. There were many things that philosophers said, but not a single idea without dispute. According to him, Philosophy should begin with something absolute, certain, from which everything else will be derived by logical. He doubted sensory knowledge, practical knowledge. He said, I cannot depend on sensory knowledge because I may be dreaming. He gives an example. Suppose someone is sleeping and I may be dreaming that he is sleeping. I cannot believe that. Second, he doubted knowledge. He says, mathematics is the only certain knowledge. Sometimes even theoretical knowledge is not to be doubted. He speaks of the evil which is constantly corrupting and disturbing one's thinking process. Third, universal doubt. For Descartes, the best way to arrive at certainty is through doubt. This universal doubt is a doubt about everything. Fourth, cogito ergo sum. He could not doubt his own thinking. One cannot doubt the fact of his thinking process. Cogito can be any conscious experience. Fifth, criteria of truth. For Descartes, all that is clearly and distinctly perceived is truth. Now let us talk about Spinoza. He would say that God and nature are one. Three stages of knowledge. First, obscure knowledge. It comes from our sensory, the imagination. It is inadequate knowledge. Second, clear and distinct knowledge. It arises when a person studies the real nature of object and studies the nature that exists between things. Third, intuitive knowledge. It is the highest knowledge. It is the immediate perception of truth. B. On connecting the intellectual. He is not truth and error. Error arises from imagined knowledge. Error is nothing but a fault. Knowing knowledge is Leibniz theory of knowledge. According to Leibniz, truth is to be established by court, the simplest and the most basic element of knowledge. The basic element are the building block of truth. What is truth? Well, there are answers and theories based on the truth. The concept of truth is abstract, ambiguous, and mysterious. It is something what a witness assumes. Truth is connected to belief, knowledge, and reality. Now let us see the theories that are based on truth. Mainly there are three theories. First, correspondence theory. According to this theory, truth is the correspondence of the mind and reality. For example, Delhi is the capital of India. Now this corresponds with the reality. The mind corresponds with the reality. Second theory is coherence theory. This theory holds that a statement is true of this coherence between the statement and systematic body of statement. For example, where there is fire, there is smoke. It means that the visual smoke gives us idea that there is also fire. The third theory, pragmatic theory. According to this theory, truth is that which words is practice. If it leads to beneficial result, which are useful for life as long as they run. The correspondence theory is about the truth of reality. Correspondence theory demands a unique conformity between judgment and state of affairs. Correspondence theory is agreement of things and intellect. Correspondence theory of truth has its mental, physicality, and linguistic dimension, whereas the coherence theory is at issue, is not coherence with reality or with fact. When we say about the coherent theory, it also means that the relationship between propositions. Then the coherence theory of truth emphasizes on the view of experience and judgment. There is also a theory called absolute truth. This truth is based on the field of formal science, logic, and mathematics. It means the pure ideas. For example, man is a rational animal, or 2 plus 2 is equal to 4. It is an absolute answer. The second, physical certitude. The evidence of the truth of law of nature is obtained by sense perception, hypothesis based, and verification. The certitude based on such evidence is physical certitude. There is also moral certitude. It is in the field of ethics, which gives general norms and principles, which gives the human person to judge what is right and wrong. For example, good is to be done and evil is to be avoided. Acts of judgment. The process of making judgment of an act or deed of an individual is called acts of judgment. So when we make a judgment on a particular act, that both subject or skepticism and radical idealism has to be avoided. because the skepticism doubts everything. For them, knowledge is not possible, while the radical idealist is just an ideal and imagination. It is just a supposition and assumption. It is not certain about the fact or reality of an act. So, when we are making judgment, these two things that have to be eliminated or eradicated, because both of them are not resting on objectivity, they always rest on subjectivity. So this may lead us to error. Thus the truth is that which always determines on the object evidence. Therefore we have to avoid both skepticism and idealism while making an act of judgment.